We're gonna go ahead and get started. So, welcome to Wham Wednesday, What Alexa Made Wednesday. I am Alexa and I'm reporting live from my tiny New York kitchen. And today we are making a really fabulous recipe called Morning Glory Muffins. This recipe is really great. It's full of whole wheat flour and vegetables, but it tastes like somewhere between a carrot cake and an apple cake. It's so good. And I can't wait to make it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Rosa. Alrighty, so we have today, it's kind of a long ingredient list, but I want you to stick with it because it's so worth it. Each ingredient packs so much flavor in. It's fabulous. So we're going to have today 2 cups of whole wheat flour. We have 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We have some ground cinnamon, some ground ginger, and some salt. We have 3 large eggs. We have brown sugar, about 1/3 of a cup. We have about 1/3 of a cup of applesauce as well, and 1/3 of a cup of orange juice. And trust me, all these things are adding fantastic flavor. We're going to add some orange zest from a fresh orange that I have hiding around back here. We have a little bit of vegetable oil, a little bit of honey. We have about 4 cups of carrots, shredded carrots. 2 cups of shredded carrots. Wow, that's a lot. 4 would be a lot. And 2 cups of shredded, and 1 cup of shredded apple. Wow. And did I miss anything? Vanilla extract and some pecans. And so if you don't want to use pecans, you can use whatever you want there. We can use different seeds, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And in addition to that, I have my oven preheating at 425 degrees. So yeah, let's get into it because we got a long ingredient list to go through, guys. Alrighty, so what we're going to start with is we have 2 bowls going on. We have a little bowl and a large bowl. And we have our whole wheat flour is going to be going in first. So we'll put that in. And whole wheat flour is really fun to cook with, and it really melds well to like the fall flavors. So you have like your cinnamon and your pumpkin spice. All of those go really well with whole wheat flour. So if you're trying to incorporate more whole wheat flour into your like diet or lifestyle, that's a good place to start with kind of those like warm spices. They really work well together. All right, so 2 cups of whole wheat flour into the big bowl. And then we have our spices. So we have salt, ginger, and cinnamon right here. And the ginger and the cinnamon are going to work together to provide those really delicious, warm smelling spices. And since it's, pumpkin spice season, I think pumpkin spice would work really well here. I've out pumpkin spiced David already, and it's not even October yet, so I'm going a little easy on the pumpkin spice. But I think it would work well here as well. All right, and then we have about 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And the reason I'm getting off track is because I already made this once today, so I could do our movie magic and pull them out, a little bit later. So I'm trying to half everything in my head and tell you the true measurement, and it's clearly not working out. So please forgive me if I'm a little disheveled. Okay, so we have all of our dry ingredients into the big bowl, and we're just gonna whisk those up a little bit. Oh yeah, we put salt in. You always want to add salt to baked goods, even if it's a sweet baked good. Anything sweet, really. Everything should have salt. I'm a big fan of that. Even like smoothies, I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it provides a really nice contrast to the sweet, and it's just going to amplify your sweet flavors even more. It's going to hit all of those taste buds and flavor receptors in your brain. I'm all about the taste buds. Okay, so we have our dry ingredients in here. Next up is going to come our wet ingredients. So we're going to start with 3 large eggs, and they're going to head into the little bowl. Next up, we have 1/3 cup of brown sugar. So that's like our wet ingredient. Brown sugar is so delicious. It's really unprocessed white sugar. So it has a little bit more of the natural molasses in there, which makes it kind of have that wet consistency. We have our applesauce. So this is unsweetened applesauce. I would recommend going unsweetened. We always have applesauce in our house. I freaking love it. I feel like an old lady or a baby when I say that, but I really love applesauce. Into the pot. And applesauce is going to provide a nice amount of, it's going to provide, I know I hate this word, but moistness to the recipe. So it's not like too, it really provides some nice, it really gives you a nice bite at the end of the day. Now we're going to add in some fresh orange zest. And some people, orange zest I found is very much a Some people love it, some people hate it. It's a very divisive flavor. I did not used to like it. I think because my mom really doesn't like it, and so we never had it growing up. But as I started cooking more on my own, I realized just how amazing it is. It adds so much flavor. I always add it to my challahs. I always go with like an orange zesty challah. And I baked challah with my machatunim not too long ago with Rosa, David's mom. And we added some orange zest, and I don't think it was their cup of tea, but lemon zest would work here, or other sort of kind of citrusy flavors if you're not too into orange. Okay, that goes in. In addition to orange zest, we also have some orange juice. And you guys remember the baking soda we added in the dry bowl? So the acidity from the orange juice is going to react with the baking soda and going to give you that nice lift for your muffins. In you go. Next up, we have more dry ingredients. We have some sunflower oil, and you're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of neutral oil. Sunflower oil works well here. Other vegetable oils work well here. Whatever you have on hand, it doesn't really matter. I also wonder how like olive oil would taste here. I think it'd be good. Hard to say though. And then also, you guys know my trick with anything sticky. You're always going to want to pour your sticky ingredient, like honey today, into the same container that we poured our oil. And what the oil did is it kind of gave a nice coating at the bottom of this so that everything kind of loosens up and just goes straight in. No more sticking to the spoon or the cup or whatever you're measuring into. So you see how beautiful that glides in? Voila, no honey stuck to the spoon. And so that's going to be a 1/4 cup of honey. Remember, I'm halving this recipe because we have our movie magic going on later. So it'll end up being a 1/4 cup. Okay, did we get all of our wet ingredients? Eggs, brown sugar, honey, vegetable oil, applesauce, orange zest, orange juice, and vanilla. Almost forgot. So vanilla is going to be about 1/2 tablespoon. I am really bad about measuring out vanilla. I always just use the cap and figure it's probably about a teaspoon. So today we're going to do about 1/2 cup. Oh, in you go. Perfect. Can you ever have too much vanilla though? Like if you over vanilla, is that a big deal? I don't think so. And we're going to whisk that up too. So we have our dry ingredients going on in the big bowl, our wet ingredients going on in this bowl. I see other people are joining. Hey, Nikki. And I saw Rebecca Sredney. Hey, Rebecca. All right, whisk you up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our shredded apples and shredded carrots. And like I said, we already talked about pumpkin spice once. I'm really curious if anybody, I think if you didn't want to add carrot here, pumpkin would work really well also, if you wanted to give it like a pumpkin-y twist. But what the apples and the carrots are going to do is they're going to add a little bit of texture to our muffin and make it nice and hearty. And if you don't want to sit there and shred apples or shred carrots, I don't blame you. I don't want to either. If you have a little like Cuisinart, just toss them in there and grate them up. They don't need to be perfect shreds. They're going straight into a muffin, and muffins should be easy and fun and delicious. No stress. Okay, so we're folding all of these together. Almost forgot my pecans. So the pecans are going to join the party. In they go. Now would be a great time to add different seeds, or if you want to do flax seeds or even chia seeds, I think that would be delicious. Or if you wanted to add some sort of fruit, this would be a good spot. So maybe like cut up apricots or golden raisins or even crystallized ginger could be a really fun twist. Now is a good time to do that. Okay, so we have all of our wet ingredients married up in there. And what we're going to do is, remember, we have our baking soda in here, we have our orange juice in here. We're going to add it, and as soon as we add it, the chemical reaction is going to start. It's going to give you a nice little lift. Alrighty. In you go. And with any sort of muffins or any sort of quick breads, you never want to overmix. So I always like to fold my wet and dry ingredients into each other using a rubber spatula. Because if you overmix, like with a whisk, if you really get in there and try to like mix it up a lot, you're going to end up basically over mixing the gluten in the flour, and what'll happen then is you'll have some tough muffins. So this, by using our rubber spatula and just kind of folding it in there really nice and gently, you get a beautiful texture at the end of the day. And then if you haven't already, after you do this is a good time to get your muffin tin together. You can use big guys or you can use little guys. I have little guys today. I think when I originally made this recipe, I did it with big guys, and it turns out really well too. I think if you wanted to make this into a quick bread, you could as well. I would just grease a bread pan really well and pour this into there, and I think it would be fabulous. I also think mini muffins would work. I just love quick breads in every form. Quick breads are anything that any sort of bread or muffin that doesn't require yeast, I would call a quick bread. So like banana bread's a quick bread, or zucchini bread's a quick bread, and these muffins I think would definitely fall into that category. Okay, so we're just like gently folding here. I'll point it this way so you guys can see it. We're getting to the point where we're scooping down to the bottom and we don't really have any sort of flour bits down there. I'm not getting any sort of flour coming up. I think we're ready to scoop. So if you have an ice cream scoop, now's a really great time to break it out. I do not have an ice cream scoop. I only have a spoon. So that's what we're using today. I'm using this ladle. It came with my Instant Pot, and it does the trick. So you can even see, even within the scoop, there's some nice, this kind of looks gross when I did that, I'm sorry, but there's already, if you were here, you can see it's already starting to puff up and give us that really beautiful, puffy, light texture that we love with muffins. And these guys, I always love the image of like an overflowing muffin, so I always overdo them, probably a little bit too much, but that's okay. In you go. And I got about 7 out of this when I did it earlier. It's really an awkward number because most muffin tins come in 12s, or come in 6s, I should say. So apologies for that, but that's just how, oh, and this one's coming out to be 6, so maybe I did a little too much last time, who knows. And I really love these kind of muffins, or, you know, making breakfast ahead of time, because the mornings are so just like rushed, and like I'm doing a million other things. I'm trying to get out the door, and muffins are a really great thing to grab and just eat, you know, when you get to the office, or eat on the road, or on your way to the office. They're portable, they're like kind of self-contained. It's really great to just like wrap them up in some tin foil and you're on your way. Nikki asked, do the muffins ship well? I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe I'll have to try it out. Okay, so we got 6 muffins out of this guy. I don't need you. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it into our 425-degree oven for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're going to bring that temperature down to 350. And what that first burst of really high heat does is it lifts your muffins and gives you some nice height. And I should mention that basically all of my baked good recipes come from Sally's Baking Addiction. I did edit this recipe a little bit to bring down the sugar because we don't like to load up on sugar too much in the morning. But Sally's Baking Addiction is my favorite by far baking website. Totally recommend you guys check her out. She has really great stuff. Okay, so in the oven you go. I'm putting this on the top rack. I only have 2 racks in my oven. It would probably be better on like a middle rack in a real sized oven. Again, we're in a tiny New York kitchen, so I only have 2 racks. But a little movie magic here. I warned you guys this would happen. We have 6 beautiful muffins from earlier. There were 7. We demolished one of them because they're just too good. And I think it's about time to check it out. So here we are. Nice, beautiful muffin. I think this would be really great with like a swipe of cream cheese or some almond butter or some peanut butter. Very into that. So good. So great. It has a right texture, right moistness. It has a good amount of sweetness. It's not like overpoweringly sweet where it's dessert. It is a really good breakfast muffin. I think it's fantastic. The smell of cinnamon's coming through there. So delicious. Love it. Anyway, guys, this has been really fun. These muffins are delicious. I hope you check them out. Thank you for joining me on Wham Wednesday. If you voted for breakfast, thank you for voting. Rebecca just asked, do these muffins freeze well? They definitely do. I would just wrap them up individually in tin foil or saran wrap, toss them in the freezer, take them out one at a time when you need them, pop them in the toaster oven or even the microwave. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun. I love making breakfast. It's my favorite mealtime. And next time, since breakfast lost by just a little bit, I think we're going to be making dessert. So see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining.